Silence is the loudest sound, but no one hears it. They're too busy shouting, chasing noise, looking for attention. If you want the power to rise and make enemies fall, stay and I'll show you the unseen weapon. But here's the secret. Silence is where power grows, where winners are made. When you stop talking, when you stop reacting, you start thinking, you start controlling, you start winning. Noise is distraction. Noise is weakness. Noise is permission. Silence is strength. Silence is control. Silence is command. The loudest person in the room is usually the weakest, because they need noise to cover fear. Silence doesn't need to prove anything. It simply is. When you master silence, you master yourself, your emotions, your reactions. You learn to observe, to analyze, to strike, not with words, but with actions. Silence is a weapon, a shield, a strategy. Most people run from silence. They fear it, because in silence they confront themselves. They face truths they'd rather avoid. But you learn to embrace it, to sit with it, to grow in it. Silence is where the mind sharpens, where the soul strengthens, where the real work happens. Silence sharpens the mind. Subscribe and never miss your next move. Silence reveals the real you, not the mask you wear, not the story you tell, but the truth beneath it all. It exposes your fears, your doubts, your weaknesses. Most run from this truth. They drown it out with noise, with distractions, with meaningless chatter. But you don't. You face it head on, because you know growth is born in discomfort. In silence, you listen to your mind, your instincts, your heart. You start to understand yourself, your desires, your limits, your potential. Silence allows you to see clearly, to think deeply, to plan your moves. It's the space where strategy is born, where patience is forged, where control is mastered. Noise clouds your vision. Silence sharpens it. When you learn to harness silence, you become untouchable. Others will talk, they will shout, they will try to provoke you. But silence is your shield, your power, your calm before the storm. Silence is not emptiness. It's a space, a battlefield, a place where your mind fights, where your soul sharpens, where your focus intensifies. Most fear silence because it demands honesty. It forces reflection, confrontation with self. But that's exactly why silence is power. In silence, you stop reacting. You start responding. You control your emotions, not the other way around. You don't give power to anger. You don't feed fear. You observe. You analyze. You strategize. Silence lets you see what others miss, the weaknesses, the opportunities. It's where you prepare your next move, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. The world moves fast. Noise is constant, but silence is rare, and rarity is power. Master silence. Master the game. Master yourself. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Silence is not weakness. It's your greatest strength. When others shout, you listen. When others react, you respond. When others lose control, you stay calm. Calmness is a weapon, a power many never learn. In silence, you find clarity, you find direction, you find focus. The world is full of noise, empty words, false promises, but silence cuts through it all. Like a blade, it lets you hear the truth, your own truth. And when you act from truth, you become unstoppable. Silence teaches patience, discipline, resilience. It's the calm before the storm, the moment before victory. Learn to be silent, learn to be still, and watch the world react to your power. Silence isn't empty space. It's a weapon, a fortress, a sanctuary. It's where you recharge, where you plan, where you rebuild. When the world demands noise, silence demands respect. In silence, you hear your mind clearly, without distraction, without chaos, without lies. You start to see what matters, what doesn't, what's worth your energy. Silence teaches you to control your impulses, to respond with precision, not react with emotion. It's where you build patience, discipline, strength. The silent mind is a sharp mind, a focused mind, an unstoppable mind. Noise can overwhelm you. Silence empowers you. In the silence, you discover your true power. Not in the crowd, not in the noise. Learn silence, master it, and watch your power grow. Turn on notifications. Never miss your next move. Silence is where the battle is won. Not with words, not with noise, but with calm. When you control silence, you control the chaos around you. Others rush to fill the void. They fear the quiet. They panic when it arrives. But you embrace it. You find power in stillness. Silence lets you think clearly, strategize smarter, plan your moves with precision. It's the difference between reacting and responding, between chaos and control. In silence, emotions don't rule you. Fear doesn't dictate your actions. Anger doesn't cloud your judgment. You become the eye of the storm, the calm center in the madness. And that calmness, that's where true power lives. You learn patience, endurance, discipline. You learn to wait for the perfect moment. Not just act out of impulse, because silence teaches you this. The right move is always more powerful than the fastest move. Master silence, and you master victory. Silence isn't just absence of noise, it's presence. Presence of mind, presence of power. The world rushes, they speak to be heard, to fill the emptiness. But silence is filled with intention, with thought, with strength. When you're silent, you're not weak, you're gathering strength, conserving energy, preparing for impact. Silence is the pause before the strike, the breath before the roar, the calm before the storm. Most fail to understand this. They think silence means surrender. It doesn't. Silence is mastery, control over self, control over the situation. In silence, you watch, you listen, you learn. You see what others miss, the cracks in their armor, the hesitation in their eyes. You wait, patient, calculating. Then you move, decisively, relentlessly, because silence sharpens your focus. It refines your purpose. It steels your will. And that's where you win. Not in noise, not in chaos, but in silence. You've seen the noise, the endless chatter, the meaningless distractions. But you've chosen silence, not because it's easy, because it's powerful. Silence lets you hear yourself, your thoughts, your truth. It's in the quiet that real growth happens. When others rush, you wait. When others speak, you listen. When others lose control, you master it. Silence isn't weakness. It's the greatest weapon. It teaches patience. It builds discipline. It sharpens your mind. It's the calm that precedes victory. But here's the question, the one that separates the winners from the rest. When the world demands noise, when chaos surrounds you, when pressure mounts, do you fight back with noise, or do you win with silence? Drop your answer in the comments. No filters, no lies, just real.